Yo, what is going on, guys? Max here with a brand new video, and today we are talking about the best way to farm legendary items in Fallout 76. So legendary items can be quite difficult to acquire, especially at an early level, as you're not going to see a whole lot of legendary enemies spawning just randomly in the world. However, there are some very easy ways that you can just constantly farm legendary enemies, and it won't even take you that long just to get maybe 10 to 15 legendary items. The easiest way, and it will always be the easiest way to farm legendary enemies, is just doing events. So different events will actually give you different legendary items or different chances to acquire legendary items. So when you do a Colossal Problem or when you do Scorched Earth, you are always guaranteed a 3-star legendary item no matter what, whether that be armor or weapon or whatever. You are always going to get that as long as you complete the event. There are some other events that do offer some legendary items, but you don't have as good of a chance of getting them. The ones that come to mind pretty easily is Campfire Tales, Encrypted, and there are a few other ones as well that I know for sure. You can do them there. You do have a chance of getting a legendary item, but it's not going to be 100% like the other ones. Like Encrypted, I know for sure it's pretty difficult to get a legendary item because the only legendary item you can actually get from that one, I believe, is the legendary Fixer, which even just getting the Fixer by itself is hard enough. So you can only imagine how difficult it actually can be. But nonetheless, those are still some really great ones that you can farm. Two of my favorite ones that I always love to farm no matter what is Uranium Fever and Leader of the Pack. Both of these, you have a super high chance of getting multiple legendaries, even if they are just 1 stars. Sometimes you do have 2 and 3 stars, especially on Uranium Fever at least. But it's such an easy way just to get as many legendaries as possible. There's no reason not to do them. Uranium Fever, you will see a lot of people at, as everyone loves to go do that one as soon as it pops on there because everyone knows that's the best way to get as many legendaries as possible. Leader of the Pack, I don't always see a lot of people go to that one. That is a very interesting one that people tend not to look at for some weird reason. Nonetheless, it is still really good. Even if you do more than likely just get 3 1-star items, you can still trade it in for your legendary currency. So it still makes it worthwhile in the end, especially when the enemies that you have to kill are super easy. There's no reason to not do it. Of course, there are some other ways to get a bunch of different legendary items. Think of these seasonal events like the Fanschnot Day, as well as the meat cook-off. Of course, those are going to be given as it's like a limited special seasonal event that only comes every so often. And every time you do it, of course, you get a legendary. So whenever you do see those and you know they're coming, you do want to farm those as often as possible. And hopefully you can really stack up the amazing gear then. If you are trying to farm for one certain item, it will be a lot more difficult as this will always be randomized, especially in the seasonal events, as you'll get either armor or guns. Some of these you're more than likely just going to get guns, but you still have a small chance of getting armor. But either way, it's still not going to be a great way to actually get the one that you want. So you're better off just trying to farm legendary modules and create the guns yourself. If you can get the plans for them, it does tend to be a little bit easier, as it's just going to be super difficult to try and RNG your way into actually getting the stuff you need, at least. Like if you're trying to go for a bloody build and you're looking for a certain light machine gun or a certain weapon, it's going to take you a lot longer just to find something close to what you want compared to trying to farm the materials you need just to go ahead and craft it yourself. So while events are a great way of actually getting as many legendaries as possible and increasing your odds of getting something really good, it's not going to be amazing for trying to get specific items. As like I was saying, you're much better off just trying to craft it yourself. Which kind of brings me to the next one of doing the daily ops missions. A lot of people don't do the daily ops missions because they're not a high enough level or because they just don't care. The daily ops missions are a really easy way to get a very good legendary. It doesn't really get too much easier than plowing your way through the easiest ones. There are a few that I've noticed that tend to be extremely difficult for no reason. The one that comes to mind immediately is the one, it was like you have to kill them with melee and they're robots, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I appreciate it though. I would much rather have my sanity than going around trying to melee every single robot I see. It just makes it pretty much undoable at that point. But if you check them every single day, you know whenever it does reset, it's a great way to go ahead and see if there's one that's super easy and you can do. I see them all the time. Getting the 3-star on a daily ops mission isn't very difficult, especially if you have a squad with you. You can run through it quite easily. And if you don't have friends to play the game with, you can always do the public team, because there's always plenty of public teams that actually want to do daily ops missions. Especially now that they have changed it with daily ops, so you can get legendary cores as well if you get the furthest tier, which I believe is the Elder tier. It just makes it so much more worth it, as now you can actually put it onto your power armor and give guns that legendary effect without actually making them legendaries. Of course, it is not guaranteed that you will get legendary cores. However, it is guaranteed that you will get a legendary item from doing the daily ops as well as other events. Of course, this is not 100%, and it's not really something you would go out of your way to get anyways, but it is just a nice little added bonus that they have kind of thrown in to kind of help you out a little bit more, especially since it's just so much easier just to get normal legendary items in the first place. The only really use for it is if you want to put it on power armor, but still, that's fine, I guess. It's not crazy. So yeah, guys, that is the 3 ways that you can correctly farm legendary items in Fallout 76. Just a quick little recap. Number 1, you're looking at doing events, only specific events, so there's not a whole lot of events that give you amazing legendaries, but there are a few. The ones you really want to watch out for would be Uranium Fever, Encrypted, Free Range, A Colossal Problem, and Scorched Earth. Those are going to be the ones that mainly give you as many items as possible, and it's going to be your best chance of getting as many legendaries in such a short amount of time. Number 2 is just going to be crafting them yourself. Once you get the legendary modules, you can just make them yourself, and it'll be a lot easier. It will take some more time, but it does end up being a little bit more worth it if you're farming for a specific item that you do need for a certain build. And lastly, you're looking at doing the daily ops missions. The daily ops missions are going to be the easiest way to get some really good 3-star legendaries, as long as you can do the 3-star challenges that go with it. So if you can get the highest tier possible on every single daily ops, you will rack up a crazy amount of legendary items, and they will be some of the best ones you will ever find. Not to mention all the other bonuses that go along with doing all the daily ops missions. Plus, you can also get the legendary cores, which can be found in other events as well, but you'll have a much greater chance of actually getting a lot of them doing your daily ops every single day. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know if there's any other ways you found out that you like to farm for legendaries. Maybe you have a certain few locations that you know legendary enemy could spawn at. Maybe you're just the luckiest person in the entire world, which is always going to be a possibility. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.